members of the Barrio. Hope you're excited. Today we're going to tackle the great debate, walk-up versus doorman buildings, and we're starting by Union Square at a walk-up. And we're bringing in our resident New York City real estate expert, Kašnar.
I hope I've got the keys. Just kidding. We're going to see a one-bedroom apartment, and it's right through here. You ready?
All right, we are starting with the walk-up building. And the first difference between a walk-up and a doorman building is you got to use the keys yourself to get in. There's no doorman waiting for you here. Instead, we've got trash cans. That's cool because the biggest difference, which we're going to go into, is price. These are almost always cheaper, and where I find many New Yorkers start their New York City journey in a building like this.
A humble beginning.
A humble beginning. We're on the stairs right now, and Cash, this is why they call it a walk-up.
That's right. They're thinking about putting in an elevator, but in the meantime, we'll take the stairs, but only to the second floor.
And I have to admit, as somebody that has lived on the 4th floor and the 2nd floor of a building before, there is absolutely a humongous difference between the two. 2nd floor for me isn't a problem, but if you decide to move to the 4th floor or higher, you're gonna get a lot of exercise, believe me. All right, so first question, what's the rent here?
This one, 22.
It's 1 bedroom, and
Yep.
I will say, at least you have separate space for a living room / kitchen setup here. One of the first things that alarms me a little bit about this apartment is, this on the window and then looking outside.
That should make you feel safe.
Okay, he says it makes you feel safe. Okay. I see cables here. I mean, I don't know. This is interesting. This is very interesting. What do you think?
We're in downtown Manhattan. We're in a popular part of town. Yeah, the view's not the greatest.
Okay.
No one that wanted a great view would rent this apartment, but you'd rent it if you wanted a good location and if you wanted a 1-bedroom instead of like a studio. And I mean, we're only 5 minutes from Union Square. That's hard to get.
Cash, can you take us through some of the amenities people would be looking for in a place like this?
Well, we've got a breakfast bar right here, and I don't know if you're allowed to eat dinner at a breakfast bar, are you? You're married. Would your wife let you eat dinner at a breakfast bar? Or would you have to have
I don't think Adriana would approve of that personally.
I mean, everything here is really basic. Like the kitchen's got full-size appliances. They work.
Okay,
I think.
We think it works. This refrigerator.
That looks like it was recently replaced.
It's not bad. I've seen some apartments that have like a similar layout, which have a mini fridge, for example.
The reason to rent this is because you've got space and you've got some separation. Like, come over here, check out the bedroom. So the bedroom, a lot of bedrooms will have like just one window, and I know the view is nothing inspiring, but if you've got a view like this and you're facing another building and one of your neighbors is in there doing something cool, you can look at it and be inspired by it.
You can be inspired by your neighbors. That's one way of looking at it. Okay.
It's a lot of creative people in New York. It might be worth it.
This I like. This I'm a fan of. 2 closets. What is this for exactly?
It's for religious things.
Okay, we can go with that. We can go with that. Kash, what's the laundry situation like in a building like this?
There isn't one, but that's the case with a lot of this style of building. They don't typically have laundromats inside them or in the basement. You've got to bring your stuff to one of those. There's one on 13th Street, which is just a block away.
And now I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Launder Inc. As Kash said, buildings like this don't have laundry machines. You can use this new app right on your phone. They do wash and fold, dry cleaning as well. Super easy, and you can save that trip to the laundromat. I'm putting a link down below in the description. Use code BARR20 for $20 off of your first order. These guys are a lifesaver, trust me. You know what?
It's a pretty big bathroom.
I actually have to say,
it's clean.
The bathroom's not bad. This is a lot more space than I was expecting for this apartment for the bathroom.
It's clean.
I don't know about the pink tub. Guys, tell me in the comments if you're a fan of this color for a tub. I'm maybe not, but...
Is there anything in it? No.
Oh.
It's good. Look, this apartment's not trying to show off how fancy the apartment is. It's trying to show off the fact that it exists, right, in a fun part of town. When the city reopens and this neighborhood is something again, places like this are going to start flying off the shelves.
For sure.
when that happens, you know.
And your guess is as good as mine.
I'm ready for that to happen.
If you want to live, as you said, in Union Square in the East Village and Greenwich Village, luxury apartments are very rare. So you feel like somebody might take a luxury doorman unit in a neighborhood that's a little bit less appealing for them, but they'll like the apartment more.
Yeah, oftentimes that's it. You know, you balance, with every apartment search, you balance the quality of the apartment that you're getting with the location, and you try to balance how much location you want versus apartment. Right now, with so many people working from home, oftentimes now the nicer apartment's winning out.
On that note, we are heading downtown to check out the Doorman Building. All right, we are in front of stop number 2, the Doorman Building in the financial district. And Kaš, this is going to be a completely different experience than the walk-up, right?
Absolutely, at least it better be.
For the price, it better be.
That's right.
All right, guys, check this out. Come on. The lobby is nice and warm, so we're off to a good start. Very inviting, very bright. You know, you walk past the doorman. That's added security right there.
Mailboxes are over there.
Mailboxes are here, and I've discussed in other videos how important it is to have your own mailbox depending where you live. So that is taken care of right there, and the doorman will hold your packages.
We don't have to take the stairs either.
So we're going to the 13th floor. No walks up the stairs. I can't tell you how many times I wished I had an elevator when I had a bag full of groceries or I'm moving something, furniture. This is pretty helpful. This is nice. This is definitely a perk.
Once you get an elevator, you're spoiled. Hallways are nice.
Feels like we're in a hotel, basically.
Yeah, there's a laundry room right here.
So is there laundry on every single floor?
Every single floor. So if these machines are full, you can just go to another floor.
All right, for $24.50 Kaš, this is a lot of space. I mean, this is a lot of space. You said about 700 square feet in this studio.
That's correct.
You know, before we give a tour, I just want to get some vocabulary out of the way because you hear a lot of these terms interchangeable. You hear doorman building, elevator building, luxury building. How can you tell the difference between the three, or are they all the same?
I mean, usually a doorman is evidence of it being a luxury building, but I've seen some low-end rentals that had like a part-time doorman that I don't know if everyone would consider to be luxury. Yeah. I guess the word luxury is going to mean different things to different people.
So Kaš, the big word on everybody's mind right now in New York City with real estate is price, and the, we'll call it rental collapse of 2020 into 2021. This is $24.50. My first question for you is, what would this have rented at, let's say, 1 year ago?
So a year ago, you'd find stuff like this in a building like this for at least around $3,000 a month.
So
possibly more depending on amenities and things.
Do you feel like people that would have moved to New York and never even dreamed of living in a doorman building have the opportunity right now, and it's actually making it a tougher decision?
Well, you know, since all prices have kind of come down, like the cheaper stuff has kind of come down too, but the amount of space that we have here is so much more than you would have had a year ago at the same price that like any guides or anything that are like, hey, here's how to move to New York in 2018, none of that stuff matters because like what you're gonna get has greatly changed.
I'm always curious about light and what you look at, and you know, this isn't bad. I wouldn't say you have the best views in Manhattan, and maybe having the buildings so close would cut down on some of the light, but with the size of these windows, I mean, to me this is totally workable. It's 20 degrees outside today, and you can control your heat. You've got central air in here. But in Brooklyn, where I live in a walk-up, my heat is blasting right now. It was so hot in my apartment, I had to crack the window open. So Kaš, that is definitely a benefit that many people may not think of in the walk-ups versus luxury battle, right?
Well, even though it's an older building, it's got modern heating and air. That's definitely a good thing. Not too hot, like you mentioned. And you don't have to have a window AC. How ugly would that be over by these windows? That would be terrible. In the walk-up versus doorman argument, something that I always had an issue with, though I never personally lived in a doorman building, I just had friends who did, it is the doorman itself. Now, the advantage is it's security, someone to hold your mail, but I've heard from people that they feel like the doorman can be a little nosy, or you feel like you have less privacy in a building like this. What's your take on that? I mean, that's going to be a doorman by doorman point, right? I'm sure some people are a little nosier than you'd like. other people might just not really care about you, other than do you pay your rent on time and do you have a package, you know?
And there is another consideration for Doorman Buildings. You are expected to tip your doorman. What would you tell people? How much are you supposed to tip during the holidays?
Well, best tip there, best tip about
Best
tips.
tip?
Yeah, talk to your neighbors. Find out what they've been doing in the past. That way you can get a good feel for how other people in the building are handling that. I would talk to your neighbors.
Let's show them the walk-in closet. This is, you know, people might be concerned they have to buy separate dressers. And I mean,
in the East Village, that would be your bedroom. That was how big his bedroom was before he moved to Brooklyn.
I was actually about to say, this is the size of that micro apartment in the East Village we filmed last year.
Yeah,
practically.
It might be bigger.
Yeah, you could rent this space out, but no, this is really, really nice. I like how they have the built-in shelves, especially for a single person. We've got the kitchen here. It looks really modern. What are the amenities we need to take a look at?
So unlike the first place, we're gonna have a dishwasher, and there's also a microwave. And I mean, this fridge might cost more than, I hate to say this, but it might cost more than every kitchen appliance we saw in the first place. So interesting point on that, this is a condo,
Yeah.
right? So this is owned by somebody who may have lived here at one point, right? So they have a much greater incentive to redo the kitchen to the level that you see here.
So the bathroom's got modern finishes here. It's not humongous, but I don't think anybody's gonna complain about this.
This is a two-person bathroom.
Yeah.
There's two of us.
You've been 3 people.
Do you feel comfortable in here? Ben's in here too. This is
Ben is
three-person
standing
bathroom.
in the bathtub. You could say hi to everybody back home. Guys, now it's your turn. Tell me down below in the comments what you prefer, a walk-up or a doorman building. And if you want to rent either of these apartments, check out the listings down below in the description. Make sure to subscribe to Kaš if you want to see some amazing New York City apartment tours. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, until next time.